Anybody where won't fight you, may they come, they already know. I'll be right beside you, like the wall of Jericho. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. Monagiso, 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 my baby boo. I'll be a soldier for you, I'm getting better in Kung Fu. You should know I got you, and you don't need to guide me too. I'll be right beside you in anything that you do. If you ever need saving, I will be running to you, running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running to you. I'll be running to you, running to you. Anywhere that you go to.
When I'm looking for trouble, it's cause I know that I got you. Wanting my best, everybody,
I'm just enjoying the music. It's just so amazing. Oh my god, that was Running to You by Chike and Simi. I am Dr. Emeka, a medical doctor and health educator. Welcome to Healthy Today, a health education series brought to you by Health Innovate Plus, powered by Ivy Kane. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to get updates of new episodes and other content, also available on Spotify. Please follow us on Instagram and other platforms too at Health Innovate Plus. Great, it's episode 6 on season 3, and today we discuss Somewhere Under. So let's jump in. So November 14th, all around the world, is World Diabetes Day. And at Healthy Today, we contribute to all the voices to create awareness about diabetes, its complications, and of course, the crux of my work here, how to prevent the former and its latter. In our first season and our most listened to episode, Sugar Breath, we talked about the types, the causes, and some complications of diabetes. You should check it out. So we go to our episode for today, all right? So deep within in all of us, somewhere under in your abdomen, lies a special set of organs. You guessed it, your kidneys. So let's discuss the kidneys. Who's ready for some illumination? So what are the kidneys? The kidneys are reddish brown bean shaped. So they look like beans, okay? And they're just about the size of your fists, okay? And they are located at the back of your abdomen, all right? Just beneath your ribs and then under your lungs, and one on each side of your spine. So most people have 2 kidneys, okay? Some people are born with just one, all right? Some people are born with something that's called a horseshoe kidney. It means their kidneys are joined together. Yes, but those are anomalies. And some people could have 2 kidneys, but one is functional. But the truth is, you can actually function with 1 kidney. Yeah. So, but most people, a greater proportion of people have 2 kidneys. All right. Both kidneys are a major part of the urinary system. Okay. So remember when we talked about cells, and we talked about tissues, and we talked about organs, and then we talked about systems. So organs make up systems. So when you have an organ with the kidney and other things, you have the urinary systems, okay? Which also includes, in that system, you have your ureters. Ureters, that's URETRS, okay? And these are tubes that come out of the kidneys, okay? So you have your kidneys, which are organs. Then you have your ureters. Your ureters are tubes that come out of the kidneys, and they lead down into the bladder. Lots of you are familiar with the bladder. And the bladder there stores urine till when you want to void, okay, till when you want to urinate. And then from the bladder, you have the urethra. The urethra, that's URETHRA, and that takes urine from the bladder, and then you pee outside into the outside world, into your toilets, some of you onto the roadside. And this is not peculiar with men, even women just do it on the roadside as well. Bad behavior. Anyways, so what do the kidneys do? What do your kidneys do? The kidneys filter all your blood. Yes, all your blood. Just look at the kidney as a sieve. So all the blood in your body several times in a day is going to go through the kidney, and it's just going to act like a sieve. It's going to filter your blood, because within your blood a lot is happening. You take in a lot of things, and all of them, remember when we discussed about the bloods, the blood, the red blood cell, everything still ends up in the blood. So your kidneys serve as that filter, okay? And it does this to remove waste products and excess of anything, including excess water, excess fluids from your body. So all this would leave your body through the production and elimination of urine. All right. So for those of you who are drinking urine for whatever reason, urine is a waste product, contains toxins and the excesses that your body doesn't need. So please, whatever therapy that is, stop drinking your urine. I know some people are like, ew, people do. Yes, people do that for all sorts of reasons. It's just like eating feces, really, because it's a waste product and should be discarded. So the kidneys also help balance the water and electrolytes. Electrolytes examples are like sodium, potassium, that are in your body. So if you pick up a lot of your drinks, your fizzy drinks, your juices, and your alkaline water, even your bottled water, because some of our bottled water is fortified. Even your pure water, the sachet water, is actually fortified with some of these. So you'd see even your tap water has some of the electrolytes. You could see aluminium, for example, magnesium, calcium, sodium, potassium in your water and some of your drinks. These are all electrolytes, okay? They produce, your kidneys also produce a protein, yes, called renin. And this actually helps to regulate your blood pressure. Can you imagine that? So your kidneys play a role in blood pressure control. Amazing. So you can see that if you have problems with your kidneys, you would have problems with blood pressure. And you know what? Vice versa. If you have problems with your blood pressure, it actually affects the blood vessels in the kidneys, and then it could actually damage your kidneys. Your kidneys also contribute to sugar control. Amazing, right? It makes glucose by itself, so in a process we call gluconeogenesis. So on its own, it could use the raw materials that come through the kidneys to produce and create glucose, produce glucose. And then it also regulates how much sugar leaves your body and how much stays. So if you don't have enough sugar in your blood for some reason, you haven't eaten, you're fasting, it sort of doesn't throw out all your sugar out of the kidneys. It would, do a regulation that it doesn't, it allows the sugar to go back into your blood because you need it. And then if you've had too much sugar and it doesn't want your system to have too much sugar. When it gets to the kidneys, then it helps take out the excess so you don't have too much. Aren't the kidneys just amazing? They are. Great. So the kidneys also produce vital hormones, but there's one I'll really talk about, and that is erythropoietin. Erythropoietin, and that helps in production of red blood cells. Yes. The kidneys are amazing. So you see what the fuss is when the kidneys have problems, right? Because you've seen them function in production of red blood cells. You've seen them function in control of sugar. You've seen them function in control of blood pressure. You've seen them function in elimination of waste products and maintaining of balance, whether your blood is too acidic or your blood is too alkaline. So it keeps that balance. Oh, the kidney does all of that. Wow, such an amazing organ. All right. So how does your kidney actually do all of this? How does it do, especially the main primary function of filtration and removing the excess and toxic things from your system? So your kidney does its main function through a filtration process. And a lot of you are familiar with filtration processes because right from your school days, when you want to get the impurities out of water, you would put something like maybe a white shirt or something and then pour water into it, and then you could see the residue accumulate, and then your clean water goes down there. So something similar. All right. So the kidneys have these structures within each kidney. All right, they're called nephrons. Nephrons. That's Nephrons. Nephrons. And these nephrons, there are millions of them in each kidney, and they're actually the filtration unit of the kidney. So they actually do that first and second level filtrations in your kidneys. So the blood in your body comes to the kidneys through a large blood vessel, and that vessel is called the renal artery. It's a giant vessel. If you in the movies, when you shoot someone in the abdomen and they are bleeding profusely, the bullet most likely hit the renal artery. Or some people who are stabbed, especially from behind, that could be the artery that is severed, and the person will die in a very short time. All right, so it's a big artery, and it's taking a lot of blood to the kidneys. So smaller blood vessels, which are called capillaries in the kidneys, form a network of blood vessels, and they're called the glomerulus. And this is within the nephron. Remember, I told you the nephron is the filtration functional unit of the kidney, and there are millions. So if there are millions of nephrons, there are millions of that network of glomeruli within a nephron, and that is where you have filtration happening at the kidney level. All right. Now, as blood comes into the glomeruli, it then filters the blood, and then some of it now goes through into the tubules. All right, so those are another structure that takes the blood into the tubules, and then you have exchange of minerals, electrolytes, waste, and other substances occurring in that tubular structure. Then blood returns back into your circulation through another large blood vessel called the renal vein. So all waste products such as urea, excess fluid leave the kidneys into, remember the tubes I talked about that come out of the kidneys and go down into the bladder, the ureters. And then the tubes now come out from the bladder, that's the urethra, just one single tube, the urethra, comes out of the bladder, and then that's how you urinate into the outside world. So pretty much that's just a summary of how blood comes in, it's filtered, and urine comes out. Okay, that's how the kidneys work. So what can go wrong with the kidneys? What can go wrong with the kidneys? So just like all the cells, the tissues, your organs, and the systems in your body that can all have problems, your kidneys are not spared, okay? They can get diseased and they can suffer malfunction. It could be from trauma, okay? So either from an accident or even a sports injury, I even told you, or it could be deliberate, somebody trying to hurt somebody. So it could be punched, it could be stabbed or whatever, and then it could just be accidental. So from a car crash, from at a building site, something just happening, so it can be traumatized, and it could be from an infection. So what is called a pyelonephritis, a type of urinary tract infection, all right, that just rises from down there and then gets up into the kidneys. Very terrible infection, okay? But that usually we can solve with antibiotics. It could be from tumors, okay? And these are abnormal growth. So if a tumor I'm sure you're like, wow, tumors in the kidney. Yes, I know you might know tumors in the breast and tumors in the brain, but yes, you can have tumors in the kidneys. And one of the commonest it's a group of cancers called a renal cell carcinoma. And you could even have cysts. These are pockets of fluids that, grow on the kidneys and could damage the kidneys, okay? So you have kidney cysts. You can have polycystic kidneys. You could also have kidney stones. I know some of you have heard of that. It's so excruciating when these stones clog up the kidneys and your kidneys are trying to still push and remove the blockade. That is, you could have kidney stones in the tubes and the spaces within the kidneys. Terrible. And it could be a form of, you could actually have a full-on immediate kidney shutdown over hours or days, and this is called an acute kidney injury. And this could be temporal, and then your kidneys could recover, or it could be permanent, and then the person would require dialysis. And some of you have heard about this, and then the person could even require a renal transplant, a kidney transplant, but we won't talk about that today. Or it could be a gradual and progressive kidney damage. Now, this one really bothers because a lot of people fall under this category, where there's been just this silent, all of us listening to me right now, there might just be this silent damage to the kidneys, and this happens over months and years and can go unnoticed, and this could lead to a chronic kidney disease, usually caused by diseases such as diabetes or hypertension. So if you're diabetic, or somebody who's diabetic, or you're hypertensive, somebody who's hypertensive, please watch out for the damage that could happen, especially to the kidneys. So you might ask, so doctor, how can I tell if my kidneys are functioning? If my kidneys are malfunctioning, pardon me, how can I tell if my kidneys are malfunctioning? So I will highlight a couple of symptoms which could be also non-specific, but could be pointers that your kidneys might be getting or are damaged already or getting damaged. So most times the issue is that there are no symptoms, all right, especially in the early stages of kidney disease. And that is why it may seem as though it just came upon the sufferer suddenly. You just hear, oh, this person was well, and you've seen those on social media. A girl who just finished from university, a man who just got a job and just got married, and all of a sudden you hear his, suffering from a kidney failure. He's suffering from kidney disease, and you're like, oh my goodness, but he was well the other day. Yes, that could happen, and it's because the symptoms of kidney disease might be ongoing and you might not know it's happening, or you might not even pay attention to it, and the symptoms are so non-specific, as I mentioned them, you realize, but wait, other things can actually produce this, and that is why it is good to have a very high index of suspicion when you think that a kidney problem is going on, okay? And the symptoms sometimes come as a result of when the kidneys are not doing their function. So the buildup of toxins, they're not able to produce the hormones that maybe produce red blood, that help produce more red blood cells, and the person starts having low blood counts. All of that can just be a sign and a pointer to kidney disease. So the buildup of waste products in the blood can lead to excessive tiredness. So one of the symptoms you could see is just that fatigue. But again, the person is also having poor sleep. So the toxins also won't let you sleep. There could be loss of appetite. All right. The skin might become itchy as the toxins build up in the body. So as toxins of ammonia, urea build up under the skin, there could be itchy. The skin can get itchy. So the eyes, the ankles, the wrists, that's the hands and feet, might get swollen. The eyes gets puffy. So you see some persons with kidney disease, their eyes are puffy. Watch out. It might be kidney disease. It might not just be a bad no getting sleep day. It could just be kidney disease. There might be increased frequency of urination. There might be a reduced frequency of urination, meaning the person is not peeing as they should, or there might be no urination. For some people, that's how we know something is wrong. So they've come to hospital for a problem, they've had surgery, and that's why you see people who had surgery, we usually would measure their urine. Sometimes we put in what we call a catheter into their urethra to measure their urine, because we want to monitor that they're making enough urine, because once they're not making enough urine, something might be going on, and so we have to keep an eye on that. The urine could be excessively foamy. So some people, I've seen that they're peed and they're like, wow, my urine is so foamy. Yes, because that urine has a lot of protein in it. That could be a sign that something untoward is going on. There could be blood in the urine. The urine could be dark colored. That usually points to some blood in your urine or something going on with the kidneys. So you need to look at it. If your urine is coming out and it's like Coca-Cola, you need to check that out. Okay. There could be muscle cramps. Okay. All again due to accumulation of these toxins. There could be a stomach pain. Urea would do that. It would cause a gastritis. So you have inflammation of the cells and the lining of the stomach. There could be vomiting. Urea again would do this. It could actually even, you could have an ammonia going to the brain, causing some confusion. Yes. So the person would have, might start acting like they have a mental health disorder. Meanwhile, it's from a kidney disorder. So that's the whole interconnectedness of the human being. It could even present as a high back pain. Okay. So as opposed to a low back pain that could be from a spondylosis or something else, a high back pain, towards where your ribs are, but behind, could be pointing to a kidney problem. It could be kidney stones. It could be a pyelonephritis. Again, if it's an infection, a fever could come about, etc. Okay, so all of this, remember, some of them are non-specific, but you have any of these, please see your healthcare provider as soon as possible. So you may ask, so doctor, what do I do to keep my kidneys healthy and prevent kidney diseases? That is why I'm here. So drink enough water daily. You see, God is just so amazing. The things to stay healthy are the things that are everywhere, but those are the things we struggle with the most. Okay, so drink enough water daily. For adult men, you need at least 3 liters a day. At least 3 liters a day. And women, an average of 2 to 2.5 liters a day. Okay, this will help the kidneys filter out more of the toxins. It's more like a flushing. All right, so you flush your system by yourself just by drinking enough water. It could prevent kidney stones. So your kidney stones would form because crystals that are urine, you're not having enough of that flow. So some crystals form from stagnant urine. You could have uric acid crystals. You could have other types of crystals, and even cholesterol can just concentrate, and then you could form crystals in the kidneys, and that could be really terrible. So just drinking enough fluids, reducing your cholesterol intake, your fat intake, especially remember what we talked about last episode on soft and slipperies, reduce your saturated fats, okay? And then you can prevent kidney stones, okay? Reduce the risk of, you could, by just drinking enough water, besides reducing preventing kidney stones, you reduce your risk of getting a urinary tract infection because you're flushing out bacteria, you're flushing out fungus, all of that leaving your system. So water, powerful. Reduce salt in your diet, and when I say salt, not just the white table salt, but everything with salt in it, okay? Your bouillon cubes, your seasonings, they all have, look at your labels. We talked about that. Look at your labels. Anything that has sodium, anything that has sodium chloride, they all have salt in them. So you have to look at your labels and make sure that your spices, etc., your seasonings are moderate as much as possible. Cut back on your salt in your diet, okay? Maintain a healthy weight. This is an interplay between your diet and maintaining good physical activity. Yes, exercise. No smoking. No smoking. So no smoking even when you're holding a cigarette or be where people are smoking. In fact, it's been shown that even being where people are smoking is even worse than smoking itself, okay? So avoid secondhand smoking, avoid direct smoking, all right? Stop abusing painkillers, especially the ones we call NSAIDs, 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 non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Examples of those are diclofenac. A lot of you are just on the diclofenac. Please cut back on those. They are toxic to your kidneys, okay? Felvin, etc. And some antibiotics. That's why you don't just take antibiotics unprescribed. So please see your doctors before you take any medications, all right? And don't take any medication for a long period, okay? That's just a general rule. Avoid herbal medications that are non-prescribed. Some of you just at the local market, you see herbal medications that tell you they're flushing your system, they're helping with hemorrhoids, piles, etc., and you take them. Please, any unprescribed herbal medications, traditional medications, please do not take them. Avoid them. Any medication that is not approved by the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration in your country, please stay away from them. Ensure you maintain healthy blood pressures, good blood pressures. Check your blood pressures regularly. Check your sugar levels regularly. If you don't have diabetes, at least once a year, have your blood pressure checked, have your blood sugar checked. It's necessary, so you keep tabs on that. And if you do have diabetes or hypertension, remember you are at an increased risk of chronic kidney disease. And if you know somebody, they should know that they're at an increased risk of chronic kidney disease, so they should have their sugars checked more regularly and their blood pressure checked more regularly. It is vital that these checks happen so that we fight against kidney disease. It's rising, it's on the increase. I'm sure everybody listening to me knows somebody or has heard of somebody with a kidney disease. And we want to reduce this, especially that from complications from diabetes, as we're in the season of the World Diabetes Day. Amazing. So our medical word of the week is electrolytes. Electrolytes, okay? That's ELECTROLYTE. I had to do the Y so you know it's a light with a Y. So electro, like electricity, ELECTRO, and light, but LYTE, electrolytes. So electrolytes are substances that have a natural positive or negative electrical charge when dissolved in water. All right, so examples of these are sodium, potassium, calcium, etc. They help your body regulate chemical reactions, maintain the balance between fluids in your body, etc. And so we get these electrolytes from what you eat and drink, and you lose them sometimes in your sweat and then urine, obviously, since we're talking about the kidneys. And so when your kidneys filter the excess out of your body, you lose some of these electrolytes, and then you can get some of them back when you eat or drink. So let's vibe. It is what it is. Adekunle Gold. Enjoy this cool music.
People who know they feed you, always the first to talk about your life. Look at the irony. Shame you for public, on the beg you for side. Don't get it twisted, oh. I know the kiss assy, that shit is not healthy. Keeping my distance, oh. Some people are worse than pandemic. If it go cost my peace, then I go take my leave. If it no be money, do not disturb me, please. If it go cost my peace, that's some expensive shit, oh. If it no be money, do not disturb me, please. My disorder, it is what it is. Yeah. My Oliver. My disorder, it is what it is. Yeah. My Oliver.
Indeed, it is what it is. It is what it is, actually. Okay, so my doctor's orders, stay hydrated. I'm speaking to myself. It's difficult, but stay hydrated, okay? Men take at least 3 liters of water daily, and ladies, just a little under that. Just a tip on how to stay hydrated. There are all these water bottles, okay? So how you can gauge that, just if you know your limit, what you're supposed to take in a day, just know so you can count. So you get a bottle. Some people just get a bottle, for example. Now I say 3 liters. You can just get a 3-liter bottle, fill it up in the morning, and make sure that by the end of the day, you've consumed that amount, okay? Same for ladies. You have, okay, for example, a 2-liter container or a 1-liter container, you know that you need to have 2 of that. If you have a 50 CL container, you know you need to have, for women, you need to have at least 4 or 5 of that. For men, if you're doing that, you need to have 6 of that. So just have that tip based on your containers you have or the water bottles that you have. So great. So let me say a quick prayer for you. Something to get you on your way. Dear Lord, thank you for everyone listening to this episode now, and thank you for life and health. Thank you for giving us kidneys to remove waste from our blood. We pray that you give us the grace to cultivate healthy habits to keep our kidneys functional. And as always, help us to make healthier choices so we can enjoy a healthy life today. In Jesus' name, amen. We have come to the end of this episode, and I hope it has been educative and fun for you. Remember to hit the subscribe button. Hit it. And thank you so much to all our subscribers. You made us happy this week. We have 18 subscribers, and we're so grateful. But the numbers could be a lot more. So just hit the subscribe button, and you'll be glad you did. And also the notification bell on your YouTube channel. Just on our YouTube channel, just hit the notification bell. Feel free to leave your comments. You know we do. We attend to all of them. See you same time next week when we come back with even more exciting episodes this season. Thank you for joining, as always. Survive.